Hello, welcome to my cake kitchen. I'm Gladys, and over here I make simple, informative tutorials to help you navigate baking and decorating. Today we're making a cheesecake. Okay, it's a simple cheesecake. Unfortunately I don't know if we're going to be able to make this cheesecake right here as I'm talking to you, but relax, we are going to make a cheesecake come what may. Tabitha is back. Good morning. Oh my goodness. Hello. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day. Oh, it feels like forever since I was last here. If you see me for the first time, hi there. Great to have you. I hope you are well and life is treating you great. It's good to be back. I've been off for a little over a week. Feels like a long time ago. We are making a cheesecake, but like I said, I wonder if we're going to make the cheesecake right now or we're going to leave it till the next live. Because you know what, life is happening. Because you know what lives are like. Lives happen in real time. I wasn't able to update the group about my showing up today. And just before the live began, I had some developing circumstances which wouldn't guarantee the time for me to kind of cover all the processes of the cheesecake. So it could as well be just me and Tabitha over here just catching up, honey, seeing how we are keeping. And then when it's 50 minutes in, I've got a dash. But when I come back, we will get into it. So for the cheesecake, first of all, I have already gone ahead and prepared the cheesecake base, right? Which is actually also why we cannot bake the cheesecake, because I've literally just taken the base out of the oven and it's hot. It's got to be left to cool completely before we do anything with it. So that's also the reason. It's the base is made out of actually some, I mean, if you know anything about cheesecake, normally the cheesecake base is made from graham crackers or cookies of your preference, from digestive biscuits to Biscoff and everything else in between. I don't have any of that, and I was too busy to go to the shop. So I decided I had some waffle cones. So I threw some waffle cones into a blender, blended them, got the sandy texture to them, and then I added a bit of cake crust. I have some cake crust to go, and I thought, what can I do with them? So I mixed a bit into that to give it some sort of softness. And I followed the exact process you would follow for a cheesecake, which is add some melted butter, a pinch of salt. I didn't add any more sugar in there because there was already cake. So there you have it. I shove it in the oven at 160 degrees C. I think that will be about 325 to 350 degree F for my American audience, for about 15 minutes. I think it's browned more than I would have wanted it, but I'm not complaining. I mean, truth be told, this would be my very first ever cheesecake to make properly. Most of the time, the cheesecakes I've made is a no-bake cheesecake. It's very easy, fast-free. But this is my very first sort of baked cheesecake. And the recipe I'm using is Preppy Kitchen's recipe. So I'll be following everything else and just slight adaptation because it's my first time. Look, I'll tell you the intention for actually taking up the cheesecake. The intention is because I have some ingredients here that I wanted to get rid of before they get to their use by dates. And I just thought, what could I do with it? We've done enough baking. Plus, because I haven't been here for more than a week, I thought if I come straight back into baking, it will take me away from the catching up and just seeing how you all are doing, essentially. So I thought, maybe let me get to do something rather simple, fast, free, and also an opportunity for us to learn something new, especially if you haven't baked cheesecake before. I mean, I make cakes, but I'm no cheesecake expert. So it'd be interesting to kind of undertake someone else's recipe, go through it, and then see what the outcome is, essentially. So it's something for us to all learn from, starting from the ground up, especially if this is your first time, like, knowing about a cheesecake. So that is where we are. Of course, typically, I have gone and done the odd thing, which is Preppy Kitchen uses graham crackers and advises the use of cookies or biscuits of your choice. But I've gone ahead and I threw cake in. So God help us. I don't know what I'm going to be doing by the end of this recipe, okay? But if it doesn't turn out great, it's my fault. And if it turns out great, it's Preppy Kitchen's recipe. That's all, okay? But anyway, great to have you back. It's lovely. Whew. It feels like a little while ago though. And it just feels like, oh, okay. Let's see in the chat. Okay, Miss Jackie is here with us. Auntie J, hello, lovely. Tapita loves, oh, okay, so I am right up all of your streets, okay? You love cheesecake, you make them, but you don't care to eat them. Okay, I love a New York style cheesecake though. I do. I used to buy them. I've just told you this is my first time baking them. I used to buy them from the local supermarket who used to make them. There is Vanta. Vanta says I'm new. Vanta, great to have you. It's your first time stopping by. Vanta, good to have you. Tapita and Jack, how are you people? How are you? Like I told you, if you're having caught the drift of, we're supposed to be making the cheesecake, but we need to let the crust cool. We need to let the crust cool. And actually, I think I'll be able to kind of mix the cheesecake in time. Will we? I'm just thinking, because it's almost 3:30 and I've got to shoot for 3:10 on the dot. So we have a good 40 minutes to go. I think we're going to be all right. So bear with me. Let me just, because if the crust doesn't cool, I'm not going to be able to do anything, right? So let me just transfer the crust from where it is to the bigger fridge so that it cools quickly whilst we mix the ingredients together. I think that's what we are going to do, just so that we can get the best out of it. Oh, Auntie J says, girl, I'm pushing through. And we all. You know what? Close your eyes. Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ. Who does what? Finish the sentence. Strengthens me. Okay? I've had to live by that quote all week last week. Like literally when I'm lying on my couch doing the barest minimum and still feeling guilty. Like, Lord, life is happening. What am I doing? So you know what? Is it still in Philippians that say, think of all the good things, what is noble, what is earnest? Okay, you'll be all right, honey. Okay, Tapita, I know I'm yeah, she's finished the sentence. Auntie Jackie says, through Christ who strengthens me, my lovely. Some days we all have to, you know. And for all of you over there on that side of the world, you know what? It has felt a little bit off, and it feels like our world is a little bit chaotic depending on where you look. I have just had to unplug from the whole thing. And honestly, we're a cake making channel over here. We stick with cake and we talk about the things that relate to us. But sometimes, you know what, things happen in our world that affects us. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know, okay? It doesn't make it great. It doesn't feel good. I have no opinion about it. I am just saying, you know what? It just feels like every place just feels so warm. So please take time, look after yourself. If you need to exit the group chat, okay, so you can breathe and reclaim some peace in your life, please do so, okay? Because that's what I've been doing all week. Like last week, no. And I've had to tell the people around me, I'm like, look, I don't want any discussion. I don't want to see any videos. Don't send it to me. You know, I guess when I say don't send it to me, it feels like a luxury, because sometimes if you're closer to the situation, you can't opt out if you live with it. But all I'm saying is that please look after yourself. Okay, that's all. Let's go and make cake. Tapita says it's been chaotic. It's been the week for sure. Whew. I'm trying to figure out my month. You're going to Georgia. Tapita. Don't come back with the same feelings you had when you went on your camp trip. Because Because when you went on the camp trip and you came back, you wanted to be 2 tents away or a whole campsite away from the people you went with. Whew, Tabitha. When are you going? Okay, right now what are we doing? Okay, let's go and put this. Let's go and put this in the oven and the fridge. Okay, so I think my fear about whether we can bake or not bake, I have gotten over it. We are baking, so we're going to be using a hand mixer. But you know, the cheesecake is gonna take quite the time to bake. So we're getting the mixture done, put it in the oven, go off, and then when we come back, it will be the result so that we can have a look at it. Now, because the cheesecake will take minimum about an hour or so, I'm not sure if I'll be back for 6, but it will certainly be perhaps about 9ish. Just giving you a heads up about that. Okay, so let me just get bits and bobs sorted. We're going to be doing much of the mixes in one bowl, and we need 3 eggs and 2 egg yolks. I am just organizing everything I need. I mean, anytime I have to make cheesecake, I think of you, my American audience, those of you who have the block style cream cheese, because I'm kind of envious that you guys have the block style cream cheese and we don't, because all we are left here is with Philadelphia. I mean, it's Philadelphia, right? I need about 200 grams of this. This can't be good for someone who's trying to... I'll talk you through the ingredients in a moment, so bear with me, right? Yeah, I have a bowl here. We have that. Let me just... I just need 2 egg yolks. Okay, we've got the 2 egg yolks here, and then the egg whites will go in the fridge. First of all, I'm going to preheat the oven at about 160 degrees C. We will need a tray of water like we do most when we bake cakes underneath to kind of help keep things cool and bake steady. Now, for the quantity I'm using, you could use a stand mixer, but I'm choosing a hand mixer. Quick note here, if you're making a cheesecake, it's important to note the use of a hand mixer. Simple reason being, the hand mixer, you can't control or regulate the speeds very well. So if you're not very careful, it might whip too much air into your mixture, which will lead to cracks and rising and causing your cheesecake to dry out a little bit. This is my very first time, so I am embracing the process with all the mistakes that will come along with it. even if we make mistakes, that is something to learn from. I'm not trying to approach this from a professional's point of view, but I'm definitely going to be utilizing all the examples that comes with understanding the process for making a cheesecake. Yes, Tabitha is saying a bain-marie, definitely. So where are we? I have 3 eggs. I am using a lemon. This is more like from his recipe, it's more like cheesecake squares, if you like. And because we have this cream cheese, I mean, I'm not hating on Philadelphia. I'm not, but it's nothing like the block style cream cheese, is it? But to kind of balance things out, I have mascarpone. You know, for me, it's like a waste of time to kind of fill the cheesecake up with just that, because it's just this, isn't it? But I have some mascarpone, which is going to cream into it, which is what I need the 2 eggs for, to help set things up quickly. So for, I think in terms of measuring, okay, just for your convenience, I am, where is the measuring? There's 155 here grams. I think the tab is 160 full tab with the tab, as in the weight that is written includes the tab itself. So if you take the tab, okay. If you take the tab, let's see what the weight says over here. Where is the weight? Can't see it. Well, we'll have a look later, but it says 160 here exactly. And into that, I am going to add the mascarpone. What I am going to be making is such a small quantity anyway, so it will make no difference. Let me wash my hands. The mascarpone measures about 220 grams over there. So we have about 380 to 390 grams of mascarpone and cream cheese in here. So, right. Now I am going to cream. Oh, well, it will cream if only if I okay. Look, speed 1. I just need speed 1 and I'm already having issues. Go. Now I feel like I should have seems to have mixed in together. Now I am going to add the lemon. The lemon kind of enhances the tartness and tang. Just one. I'm just using my hand so I can sift out the seeds of the lemon. Now you can adjust how much lemon you need. I'm using a whole one because I want the lemon sort of citrusness, because this Philadelphia cheese is not strong in terms of the flavor at all. So the lemon is a good thing to kind of enhance that. So I am just be careful not to overbeat it. Be careful not to overbeat it. So this is enough. You want to add the sugar, because sugar will dissolve in here. And then don't forget to add salt too. I will list the ingredients in the description box for you. Does it require sour cream? Yes, you can add sour cream. I actually have, Auntie Jackie is asking, does it require? Yeah, you can add sour cream. The only reason, if you have access to the block style cheese, cream cheese, use 2 of those. That should work fine. The only reason I decided to add mascarpone instead of 2 of these is, remember I said I was just trying to discard of the ingredients I have. Plus, buying 2 of these doesn't make any difference to me because it's just like too soft and it doesn't do anything. So I thought instead of just buying another one of these, let me just use this mascarpone as a substitute, which is why I raised the quantity of lemon here. So there's intention behind the choices I am making. But yes, there is sour cream right behind me, which I will add in a minute. So let's do the egg yolk. Let me just... Whatever I am doing here, frankly, I don't know how that will work out for me because I have just stubbornly gone and done this thing. Okay, there you go. Then I'm going to cream that all. Still have to be careful. This needs to be... I just found out my mixer cannot do slow because I want it to be slow and it's not working. Okay. We have a nice mixture here. One thing I need, a pinch of salt. We need a pinch of salt to enhance the taste, and there is sour cream. So let me just make sure.
Hello.
Okay. Quick question. I wonder if it... Hello.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, go on very quick.
DPD has got to come and get the phone, right?
Okay.
Will it make sense for you to have drive off and then extend Buddy's school time and then pick him up, or
Okay, I
you
can do
want
that.
me to?
I'm not going to be long anyway.
Would you want me
Extend it. Can you call and handle it, please?
Okay.
Oh no, you're on the live. I'll do it.
Okay.
Oh, could I move?
It's okay.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. So will you do it?
I'll do it. I'll call from the car. Ebenezer's waiting outside, so I can't mess about.
So what are you going to do? Should he go?
Sorry?
Should he go? Should Ebenezer go?
No. He's waiting for me.
Oh, okay. So you would rather
Oh,
extend,
you're saying it makes sense for me to take
yeah, to
our
drive
car
yourself.
and extend, oh,
Yeah, and
that would
extend
be even
buddies
better.
just so that you can get buddies.
Yeah, that'd be better, so I don't have to come back on the bus.
So tell Ebenezer
Oh.
then.
Oh, that's twice I've done this to him. Okay.
You're in my home kitchen, okay? Sorry. I am talking to the big producer because he has to save me. Because if he doesn't...
Oh, you need to stay here for DPD?
Yes.
Oh, understood. Alright, let me hurry up then.
Because
Yeah, no, that's good, because I don't have to take the
because
bus.
the hours window, if I left,
Yeah.
I will lose the hour time. Okay, people. Sorry. Like,
Yeah, sorry everyone.
it's okay. Maybe one day the big producer needs to come and say a hello.
Yeah. Okay, too busy. Sorry for butting in on your live, everybody.
Auntie Jackie said, listen, oh,
Yeah.
look at you, producer. You look like the angel now. Auntie Jackie said that conversation in her house would have sounded like an argument, Auntie Jackie. Auntie Jackie. You know what? Let me give credit to the big producer. He's not one to argue, honestly. He will leave you and the dry walls by yourself. Okay? And that isn't always a good thing. Okay? Can you tell I like a bit of an argument?
Alright. Alright, don't overshare. See you later.
I've been told. Well, I'm just adding half a tablespoonful of cornstarch just so that it will set. Oh. Auntie J, is it like your hubby, right? He will leave you here with the dry walls and all, okay? And then he'll come and ask you very British way, do you want a cup of tea? Like, sir, I want a full-blown argument so that I can vent. Okay. Anyway, oh, that looks so creamy. That looks super creamy, except look what I've done. When I added the cornstarch, I didn't stir it before adding, so it has created some lumps in there. This tastes so good. Don't forget there's raw eggs in there, Glad. Okay, let me see if I can whisk this again. Okay. You know the thing I'm kind of now worried about? I wonder if it will fit into the bowl. All right, let's see. Okay, now we have to go and get the crust, and then we'll see. But we've got the mixture. Look at how creamy that looks like. I'm kind of excited about this, but I'm not raising my hopes because the first time and I've gone and done all these substitutions. But hey, hang in there with me. Let me just go and get the crust back. Okay, the crust is cold now, so we can have the look at the crust. I mean, truth be told, the crust is a little bit burnt. Don't tell anybody, okay? But it is all right over here. Now let's go and pour. Okay, all right. Oh, not bad. I was worried it won't fit. If this works out, I will feel like a hero. Right, so what do we do? Sit this in a tray, right? Is that it? And then we pour some water. Okay, now let's have some seasonings is back. Okay, now let's have some. Yep, there you go. Right, okay, there's some water in there, and then with this we're going to sit it in here to bake. Okay, now I've got to be careful. Okay. Okay. Right. Now that's in the oven, right? Let's look at the time. It is, let's see, 160 degrees C. No, let me move it to 170 because we have the water. And this should bake a little over an hour and a half, after which you will leave it to cool. But of course, like I told you, we are not going to be sitting here for the entire hour for the time. We'll have to go and come back and then check the final thing. And then again, we'll leave it to set completely. And then we'll come back and have a good look at it. I mean, that is the curse of making a cheesecake. It's not like a cake that is very quick and fast paced. So either way, I'm happy it's in there. Let's look at the timestamp. It's 10 to 3. So let's give it an hour and 15 minutes. And yeah, we'll see. In the meantime, I am glad we have finished our bake. Now, 1 second. Okay, that's over. You have my attention. I wanted to kind of finish the bake first because when I started, I wasn't so sure. If you go back to the start of the live, I had a whole like disclaimer that I didn't know if we were going to be able to complete the bake and all that. And here we are. Big producer walks in and sees the day. So I'm not in a rush out because I was supposed to be somewhere and then pick the do the school run, get home for a collection, and life just lifing, right? And it's hard when you have to kind of manage that, and sometimes you can't, and something has to give. But that's over now, so we're here, okay? But yes, it's been a week. There's Uche, Mercy Uche in the chat. Hi Mercy, great to have you. Thank you for stopping by. Now let me talk to you, my people. What's your week been? Because I've been away all week, and you know what I've been doing? Just resting. I think the summer's churn between mothering responsibilities and the amount of content we had for the summer season. I mean, when I went back to the analytics, that was a lot. And yeah, I think I've done this long enough to realize that there's almost a slow burn to the process, and sometimes for you to be able to give your best, you just need to unplug. So it just so happened, it was so unplanned, but it was just necessary. So thank you all for giving me the space and time. Okay, all the messages I received about taking my time and then showing up whenever I can. I'm like, you people are so nice, because most people are just so disloyal. They're just gone. Okay, so I am so glad to have you back, and I hope whatever you're doing in your lives, you are being productive at it and it is yielding some fruits for you. With the rest comes like so much also to do. Okay, so we have the subject of Italian buttercream. I was just sitting there, you know, sometimes when you have your own quiet moments and you look at something and I'm like, okay, if I know we do a lot of things here. Okay, we do so much that sometimes it's like, okay, whilst all of this is all fun and still valuable, if we had to nail down what problem we are solving, like, because at the core of what we do here, as much as we are having fun, catching up, you know, encouraging each other, holding space, being accountable, and just being all around good people, right? At the core of it is still a need to solve a problem for you. And that is something that keeps me awake at night, because essentially, if I forget why I am here, then we won't be here, right? I don't, the intention to not be distracted by the fun is important, right? So I was just sitting there in my quiet time, like, can we, and this is my random thought for you. If there is a problem I am solving particularly, not that we are not solving other problems, but there has to be like a core, as in a main thing, and then the other things just exist to support the real thing we are doing. So I remember when I started YouTube, all I wanted to do, it wasn't even about me, and it's never been about me. It's always been about solving your problem, which is whether I am breaking down the cake decorating process in very informative bite-sized means for you, or teaching you about cakes in very informative bite-sized style. And that was really an intentional thing. Of course, as time went on, personality got in, we kind of got hooked up, and then we had a bit more muscle to the skeleton, which is the skeleton being the simple informative tutorials. So on the break, I was just sitting there thinking, because I went onto the sister platform, which is TikTok, and please help me out here. Here's the question. There seem to be a lot of questions about buttercream. Is it because the algorithm keeps suggesting people's problems to me and I keep seeing problems? Or for all of you in the chat, put a show by hand if you are still struggling with buttercream and you have questions about buttercream, that despite answering a lot of it and engaging and creating different style of content about the subject. Show by hand if you still feel like there is still a lot left to learn and something you're missing. Show by hand. Show by hand if you're missing something about buttercream you would like to learn. Show by hand if you feel like the subject is still so broad that you feel like there is room for us to cover more details, because that was so apparent to me, and it made me think, okay, since we've started the Italian meringue, I mean, I've covered all sorts of butter, the 8 buttercream options we have. I've covered all of that on this channel on live format. But then that was a long time ago when we were have the number we are. So I wouldn't be surprised if there are new people here who haven't like caught up. And sometimes there has to be refresher, but all of those subjects are not covered in its full detail in long form. So I'm just wondering if there is room for us to kind of revise those subjects so that I can just create them in bite-sized format, answering specific questions for you. That's all. Thanks, Auntie Jackie. So I can see there are 12 of you here, including myself, and that matters. So here's the question. The question is, Is there a particular buttercream subject or something concerning buttercream that you feel you are lacking on that you would need help with? Okay, so Auntie Jackie is saying, I think it's the same concepts, but too many adaptations. Okay. Can you explain that for me, Auntie Jackie? Do you mean the buttercream remains the same, but there are just too many adaptations that it has become confusing, or you are overwhelmed by the too many adaptations of buttercream that exists? Okay, yes to the first. So it's the same concept, but there are just too many adaptations. If you had to choose the buttercream option, Auntie J, which would it be for you? Would it just be American buttercream and you're just okay with that? Okay, Swiss. Okay. If you had to choose, it would be Swiss meringue buttercream. Do you think you have gotten the hang of making Swiss meringue buttercream? Because essentially the question is, even if it's one person's problem I'm solving, that is completely fine. I just want to have an understanding of the various things. And also, whilst we're on the subject of buttercream, it's not just limited to buttercream. Is there anything else we are thinking about? Like, if you had to choose, should we be more baking focused or buttercream focused? Because if we chose buttercream, I don't mind. The subject is so wide. And like you said, there are just so many adaptations to the point where there isn't really much except for the science and focusing on the ingredient choices. Because I think one of the things I found was that most beginner bakers are hung up on trying to find a stable buttercream that solves all their buttercream problems, from being stable to having a great mouthfeel. So for instance, when I have gone on to when I've seen under other creators comment section, the first question is like, oh, recipe please, and is this stable? And I'm like, every buttercream is stable to a very reasonable extent, at least at room temperature. It is only when it surpasses the melting point of butter that it becomes a problem. Okay, and as long as butter is in buttercream, that problem will remain prevalent. So people just need to understand that it doesn't matter. The choice of buttercream you are choosing has to come from your intention and your objectives. For instance, I have spoken about French buttercream a ton here, and it's one of my preferred buttercreams to make. But I'm quick on telling you, it is not stable. And that's because I don't choose French buttercream for covering cakes. I choose it as a filling, and then I cover my cakes in ganache. So for that reason, I am not worried about how stable or unstable it is, because essentially it's a filling, and what I have to focus on is how it fills into the cake so it doesn't shift and slide, causing instability with the cake. Do you see what I'm saying? But I find most people are still on the hunt for the ever-present, most stable buttercream for all things. Right. So you see, Auntie Jackie, you are right on the money over here. You prefer Swiss meringue because it's less sweet than American buttercream, and American buttercream gets too many air pockets. So you have intention surrounding the choices you have, whereas other people just want a buttercream that is stable and solves all their problem. I can see Tatiana in the chat. Tatiana, good morning, darling. How are you? It has felt like forever since we last met. How are you keeping? The last time we caught up on here, you were off on a 50-60 hour week? How did that turn out? Said you had. I hope you managed to crush it and have taken a break now. How are you keeping though? Where is Tapeta? By the way, for those of you who are just joining us, we came to make a baked cheesecake, which is what is in the oven. You are still on it. You've got it till Thursday. Okay. Wow. It's not long. It's not long to go. Close your eyes and Thursday will come very quick. Okay. So fancy engaging us on what is keeping you going. Are you tired a lot? What are your, I mean, the goal is to get to the finish point and achieve the things you need to achieve, which I know you probably have got on lock. But how are you practically breezing through it day by day? What are your highlight points? Is it you're like, okay, I'm gonna eat, keep well, keep in touch with the hubby, surround myself with positivity, have fun with my friends, even if it's a quick call? How are you getting through this process? Because this seems like a long time ago, and some of us have gone and caught on rest. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. So how are you doing it? I am just like curious to know. But Thursday will come very quick. Thursday will come very quick. Blink and Thursday will come so quickly. Okay. Auntie Jane, last time we were here, you were baking sugar cookies, Auntie Jane. How did that go? Did you manage to finish baking them? Because I told you, the idea of sugar cookies just makes me kind of like, I'm like, they are very precious. So when no, no, I would not be trying them. But how did it go though? You know who I'm low-key kind of thinking of? Lollipop. Oh, was it just the sugar cookies, or you decorated them with icing and all of that? Because that's a lot of work. Well done. Tapeta, which neighbor is that? Is it the one across you is it the one with the heart issue? Dawn. This smile tells you everything. Thank you, Dawn. I've had a great time. I'm well rested. Thank you for asking. How are you? Good. Thank you for stopping by. It's good to have you back. Auntie Jackie, sugar cookies are a lot. So, well done for taking them on. Yeah, I've just peeping my neighbors, okay? You know, I've still got Albert. I'm looking to see if Albert is coming by, because he stands by my window and waves me down, okay? Kawuko. Okay, Tatiana says, because Tatiana has had a long couple of weeks for some achievement and aims. So God is getting me through this for sure. I am ending up having to be in the gym 11 days straight. So I've been commuting since the 8th. Hubby has been my rock as always. Though he, oh, through it, oh dear. You know what? You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. I am so glad to, it warms my heart that your focus is always, you know what, the Lord is helping me through, or my focus is on the Lord or the Lord's will. You can't go wrong with that sort of mindset and perspective, you know. So we're sending you hugs, okay? Oh, come back and tell us all about winning and succeeding. Because sometimes people want to succeed, but people don't know what it takes because you are unwilling to give up the comforts of your days. Girl, good for you, okay? Good luck with everything else. We are always here supporting you, cheering you on, praying for you, okay? And may the Lord open opportunities for you and put you in the places that He has ordained for you. Your name should be called in places you have no idea of, but when you walk through those doors, you know grace has sent you over. All right? All the best, darling. All the best. Jackie, don't we all? Don't we all? She can get us together. If she can get us, if she can get us all together for a healthy lifestyle, girl, we will all be living it. Okay? We will all be living it. Because you know what? Your girl out here, look, keeping healthy and staying in the gym has got to be a new kind of ministry. Okay? So if ministry comes by name, I'm the minister of cake. Let's just say Tatiana is the minister of the gym. Because the gifts are different for everybody. The gym is not my ministry. Okay? I see you, lollipop, peekaboo. I see you. The gym is not, because you know what? I like to skip. I told you before. This vessel here is the only one to carry me through life. And I know this vessel very well. After a week of scoffing cakes, I'm grumpy. I am irritated. I can't eat properly. I can't, like it's a shit show out here. Okay? So, because I care about me, I have to make an effort. But you know what? I can just about skip 5 minutes and it's over. After 5 minutes, I'm like, let's go have a shower. Okay? But I'm trying to eat well. That's all. Don't ask me what I'm eating. I'm trying. So, Tatiana, that's your ministry. So maybe you should start a channel and tell us all about how you keep focused through all of these things. Because the world needs to hear it. We need to know. Dawn says, my husband works really hard and goes to the gym regularly. He has a healthy diet. He's had a heart attack. Oh, no! That wasn't the story I was here. Oh my goodness. Dawn, I hope he is okay. Dawn, that must have been so scary for you. Oh my goodness. Oh. Dawn, thank you for sharing, but we are so sorry. 2 weeks ago must feel so fresh and scary. Do you mind telling? How are you feeling about it? That must be so scary. And whilst we're at it, let's not forget Tabitha. It just seems like we just walked right into it, but you know what, we are a community of people who live for real, so we are just rolling with it. Tabitha's neighbor passed away too. Oh damn. 5 people at work, 4 have passed away. Oh my goodness. This is giving me chills in my head. Dawn. Thank you for sharing that with us, okay? The fear you feel is valid. You know, I'm kind of focused on the fact that 4 have passed already. And even though he's well and okay, and you know, you're grateful for mercies and everything else, I wonder if he was here speaking for himself, what he feels about the fact that he's lost 4 people he works closely with. So I'm sure he, at this point, he would know what to do. But I mean, the fact that you say he lives a healthy lifestyle, goes to the gym, eats well, and then this happens, just means that our life is not like guaranteed. We are never assured of. We can only try our best, essentially, you know. So your fear of what has happened and possibly losing him is valid, but we are encouraging you to see above it, you know. Sometimes the fear is to be spoken about, but it's also to be prayed through. Do you see what I'm saying? So yes, if you're scared, that's okay, but don't give up. If you're a person of faith, you know, there's precedent. The Bible says, do not fear. Do you not think our God is gracious enough to have eliminated the thing that will cause us fear? But through fear, we build faith, we find strength, we grow. So I hope this is the beginning of a different perspective and a better outcome for your life as a family, okay? That's all. You know what? Even though I did take time to rest, I kind of feel like somehow I have, like, all the happenings of the week you know, especially in the news and everything else, has just made this morning, right? I am sitting there prepping notes, and in my research I chanced onto a video on TikTok about a guy. He travels, he's gone off to work. Like, this is a guy with a young family, his wife is home, and you know, some days you hear certain stories and you just feel like you wonder how people make it through circumstances, you know. And this poor guy, he leaves home, says goodbye to his wife. He works away, 4 hours away from home. And this is a regular day, except he gets a call from his wife, and the wife says somebody is lurking around their house, the family car, something to do with he's seen a person around the family compound, or, you know, and she's just concerned. So husband tells her, so from the look of things, this is just like any regular normal day, and an occurrence of calling your partner and going, oh, I have fears about this person. I mean, you've seen me on a live, like jumping out to say goodbye to my neighbor, speak to my neighbor over here. So imagine one of those days where I'll be like, there's somebody in my window, peripherals, like I'm not sure. So husband tries to dismiss it off. She is insistent. Eventually husband encourages her to call the police, but it is just so a non-problem that it's such a non-problem that the police don't do anything. And understandably, it's like, you've seen somebody outside your house. Are they a threat to you? Do you perceive a threat? Like, and guess what? The police don't come because clearly in their point of view, it's a non-issue. And between the time that she calls the police and when she calls her husband back to say, I called the police, they are not taking me serious, this person breaks into the house, stabs this woman to death. And it all happens when she's on the phone to her husband. So the poor guy is 4 hours away, and he is literally witnessing the death of his wife. And he's got 2 children in the house at the time of this occurring. I'm sitting through the story, and suddenly I start bawling my eyes out, because you think a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old in such a hopelessly helpless situation. Like, how does anyone cope with such atrocity? You know, and it's akin to the story of what is in our news in the past week, what's happened to this gentleman. You know, nobody deserves that. Like, I have stayed away from watching that video. Like, Daily Mail, Google prompts will tell me breaking news, and that's all. I don't know, because nobody deserves that. The poor guy, yes, he held views and opinions that were stronger, divisive, and opposed. Like, nobody. Oh. People, just look after each other, okay? Look after yourselves. Cherish your loved ones more. Pray a lot, because that's the thing that will settle your heart and give you peace. I find a lot of peace in prayer, you know? And it's not like the sort of serious prayer where you have to go and set a whole like prayer room out on fire and chase the demons. I don't mean that kind of prayer. The sort of prayer that is so like simple and looks like nothing, but is something. Dear God, thank you for today. Thank you for my life. Thank you for breath. Thank you for all the opportunities I have. Thank you for the blessings you have given me. Let your mercies go before me. Let your grace find me and be the guide of my day. Because sometimes the harm that is ahead of you, you can never perceive it. Oh, dear God. That's all. Tabitha says that Tabitha says, I saw the video and I wish I had. Tabitha, well, you took one for the team. I told the big producer, the big producer is a man's man, and I was like, you know what, my life is okay without ever having to see anything. Like, my spirit isn't that curious to know. Okay, I will be okay without it. And you know what, that has helped me. I am not on Twitter. Okay, I have steered clear of that content type on TikTok. YouTube would even block you anyway. So, but no. Tatiana says, knowing who my God is, being peace, since he knows my heart and knows who wins. You know what? That's all. When you focus, he says he will make perfect the one who has set their mind on him, you know. So as long as you wake up and your perspective is set on the one who is above all and whose power is all-knowing, that's the only thing that will carry us through every day. That's all. Love each other. Even if we don't agree, let's extend kindness to even the opposing views. You can respect someone and still not buy into what they are selling, because our world is so divided. It's almost like, because you don't believe in what I believe in, we have to fall out. And it doesn't have to be that way at all. It doesn't. We can't all like the same thing. We are all victims in one way or another. If we are not victims of what? The structures and institutions, we are generally, all of us, we are victims of circumstances. People's life stories will victimize them, but everybody is fighting some sort of battle. But you wake up and your perspective, whatever your perspective is, you feel grateful, and then you pursue the opportunities ahead of you. That's all. What does our world come to? Now I wish we went back to the Old Testament God who would just like burn the evil out. That never helped nothing anyway. I don't know why I'm laughing. Yeah, he brought fire down, he burned the place down, and the people were back doing the same thing next year, right? So it was never a God problem. It was a people problem. Because right now, if you and I held hands and we're like, dear God, go back to the Old Testament and send rain or fire and let it burn the people we perceive are causing the problems. Okay, so stay with me here a little bit. Let's have a laugh. Okay, so just imagine if we all agreed, that our politicians are the problem, the bad ones. Okay, okay. And I'm talking the politicians, okay? It doesn't matter where they are on the spectrum. They are the same people, okay? If it was all of them, and we're like, dear God, get rid of them. And let's just say God humored us and he did. Do you think our problems will be over? I don't think so. Because there is sinful nature in humankind. However you splice it, between you and I, in the quiet of our spaces, what are we doing that is not worthy, or that is not deemed rightful, and it's outright sinful? That is if we're being honest, okay? So we do not even hold the fort to say somebody else is more sinful. But if we can all start by correcting our own actions, you know, be a little kinder to your neighbor, not because they agree with you all the time. Know that they disagree with you, but you extend an arm of respect to them so that their viewpoint will stand and they do the same. Our society will be a better place. But somehow we are all caught in ecosystems where we're like, there's division everywhere. And it's like, why? Oh, my head hurts. Tatiana says, oh, good vibes is here, my lovely. Oh. Dawn says, I wish he would. Dawn, did you not catch the part where I'm like, it's a human problem? Because even if the Lord brought down the hail of fire to burn down the politicians, we will be back to the same place next year. You know why? Because there's precedent in the Bible. How many times did the Lord deliver the Israelites by delivering instant justice? And yet they went back to their ways and worshiped the God. So it's a human problem. It's a human problem. We humans are sinful by nature. We live by just the grace of God that has found us, and we atone every day and make sure we live, okay? But it's just human nature. So I think God knows that he's not even going to do that. He's like, let them live and judgment will find them. That's all. Tatiana was saying something. Tatiana says, God uses the circumstances to help us grow and make a difference to him. All things work together for good for those who who love the Lord. Okay. All things work together for those who love the Lord and those who are called to his purpose. True. Oh dear. We've made it to therapy corner. Tapeta, I was asking, is it the neighbor? The neighbor, you said the neighbor passed away. Is it the neighbor with the heart condition or the neighbor who had the big C? Is it the same neighbor though? Because we haven't just ignored you. My people, the conversation has just gotten deep and heavy, okay? It's okay. It's okay. We hope if you were having a heavy day, you can come here and we will hold space for you. So it's gotten deep and heavy. The good thing is that we're baking a random cheesecake. So there's room for growth over here. Okay? There's room. But Nicola is back. Nicola, if I could afford a chef, I will employ you so that you can cook some healthy food for me. So my dreams of losing weight. What's the topic, Gladys, darling? There ain't no topic, you know. We came and we wanted to make a cheesecake, which is what is baking in the oven. But somehow we delved right into therapy corner, where we know Dawn's husband suffered a heart attack 2 weeks ago. Thankfully, he is well and he's recovering. Tapeta has lost a neighbor. Tatiana is crushing work. It's been busy. It's required a lot out of her, but she's looking forward to finishing on Thursday. So it's like we're just holding space and trying to encourage each other through life's changing circumstances. And it seems like for some, the seasons are just hard and fearful. And for some, the season is draining and challenging. And for some, the season is restful. But either way, we hold space for each other. We hug each other. We encourage each other. Because we can only do our best in our small ecosystem. And our ecosystem here is one of kindness, consideration, love, respect, and keeping things positive in the best way we can. Okay? So that's where we are for today, essentially, because our week has been heavy. For my American audience, from the school issues, you know, the weapon issues over there, to the young man who whose life was ended so boringly, right? It's like it's a lot. Tarun, Tarun, what's that? Is that a spelling mistake? We'll give you a chance to kind of like make it make sense a little bit for us, Tarun. Okay. Nicola says it's challenging for me too, but well, life is life and we navigate it the best we can. Nicola, we're sending you hugs and prayers. Charlie Cake. It is really so sad. I mean, if you will have to be on a different planet and be so inhuman to not recognize that. That is just like unacceptably sad, you know. And I have had feelings and thoughts about how this whole thing is even politicized. I don't know the guy. I don't have an opinion about his views and anything else. I will not even pretend. So that's not my issue. My issue is the humanity of it. Okay? He has 2 young children who will sadly never forget you know, if you have had a death that is so close, I mean, death is sad. Any form of death is sad. And if you've had a death that is so close to you, as in the death of a partner, a child, it's a different kind of feeling, you know. So that poor guy's wife and his 2 children, I mean, he could have gone to work, and if he was a private person and we never heard of him and he was involved in an accident, that would still be devastating for them nonetheless. But what compounds their pain now is that sometimes you want a break from it all to go and exist in some quiet so that you can deal with your pain. This woman will never forget, because this is always going to be in her face. And she can't create an alternative world to go live in. You know, and you see the awful side of society with people with their crooked mouth over here. Nobody has the right to say anything negative in light of what has happened. You know why? Because nobody deserves that. Nobody. And if anybody feels like even they were affected by his belief system and ideology, what does that say of you if you are willing to thump him in light of what has happened? That shows more about your character than his. Because the argument can be fairly said, whatever his ideology and belief system was, he didn't ask for you to be unalived. All he did was hold an ideology that would have to be executed by people in power. So it was not his. I mean, we have to be responsible for what we say and think. But the exchange here is not fair. It's like someone taking an army to a plastic gunfight. He held views and opinions, okay? That's all he did. He organized an ecosystem of people to act on it. However they acted on it, it was supposed to be a whole person in power who will execute on it. So I cannot see the connection between his ideology. Maybe I'm ignorant and I'll put my hand up. All I'm saying is, if you look at it from a humanity point of view, if we start going down the route where it's like, okay, you deserve this, you deserve that, and we start taking each other's lives because of our the differences in belief system, then where are we getting to? Where? it's such a dark place to start going down on. True. Nicola saying, why can't we just speak and debate without the cruelty? Yeah, I think the world has lost it a little bit, honestly. I sincerely think, because one of these days when we had the difficult conversation about the race issue, I wasn't approaching, even though I had valid reasons to feel like, you know what, I could speak about my experience that has victimized me. I wasn't coming from the place of victimhood, because you know what? I had to hold the opinion that you all have different experiences that would justify your point of view. And if I am only open enough to express what I feel and hold space for you to meet me, that's how we can get an understanding of each other. That's how we can grow from the circumstance that has come to befall us. Because the fact is, whatever you believe or whatever I believe, you aren't the person who has necessarily created a problem. The problem is created by somebody else. And we know who that person is. The people that we trusted to rule over us and to make decisions in our best interest. They have different priorities. And suddenly, you and I are at each other's throat over here. So we need to quickly embark ourselves of the fact that we are enemies. We just need to let it go really quickly. You could be black, brown, green. As long as you are not meeting me from a place of aggression or threat to my life, I have nothing against you. And that's how we need to approach life and people. Sometimes people feel so strongly in their point of view, and that is because they haven't known anything else. Our world has gone a bit mad. Our world has sincerely gone mad. So here's the lesson. Let's all be vigilant in the things we tolerate into our spirit. That's all. Because what I have seen in the last week has been a sense of mob mentality. Because it feels okay for everybody to prod along. So if people had an individual choice to do something else, would they have? A poor man dies and suddenly it's a left and right issue. I'm like, what do you even mean? What happened to humans doing human things? What happened to being empathetic? Tatiana says, yep, people have become so sensitive and can't handle truth because they've been fed one way. Especially when things don't go their way, they throw a hissy fit. True. So people, you know, we are a community on our little community here, right? In terms of numbers, we seem like such a small thing, but the truth is the flood don't just happen. The floods happen from very small drips of rain. Never underestimate how much influence you can bring to the space you are in and the people around you. Never ever underestimate that. When I started this channel, all I ever thought was, I love cakes. I wanted to talk about cakes. I wanted to do cakes. Right? I didn't think this is what the journey where the journey would bring me. And what, nearly 5 years in, the best part of our growth has happened in the last 18 months. Okay, much of the last 5 years I was in and out and doing random stuff over here. Our growth and what we have seen here and the strong sense of community we have now as it is has only happened in the last 18 months. And then in the last 18 months, it was a conscious choice to say, okay, this is something I love to do. I want to bring that into the world and share it. And you know what? That's all I ever wanted to do. And somehow we've evolved into nearly, we are headed towards 10,000 people. You think if 10,000 people showed up in one space with a belief system to do good in the world, what will that look like? And then there's another 10,000 over there with a different person, and just with the desire to just do good in the world. What will that look like? So you know what? Never because if I had showed up here and done anything, believe me, if I had showed up here with a negative spirit to put just negativity into the world, there would be a core group of people. I mean, the thing about the internet is the internet is such a dark place. You will always find your kind, okay? If I was a mask wearing a demon, why is it funny? If I was a mask wearing demon who stood here professing to be a fairy, okay, you know what fairies are, and I was talking some random stuff here, there would be people who would be here encouraging me on. So the truth is, you get back or you attract the person you are. So make a conscious effort to invite good into your spirit. Put good into the world, okay? Smile at your neighbor. When you go shopping, make room for the person who looks so helpless with their shopping. I'm not preaching to you, okay? I'm just telling you stuff that makes my spirit settled. And you know what? I can tell you, that stuff always comes back to you. Because when I tell you, people, the truth is the internet is so dark, you will never know, okay? But if I have to tell you the things I have survived to be here today, it is only by God's grace. And by God's grace, I also mean that I have seen God's grace show up in forms of blessings through people. I have had random acts of kindness that has changed my life. So when I wake up, if I've not slept well and I'm high on sugar, I am grumpy. I've told you that before. But generally, my point of view is to smile at the neighbor. I try, except I live amongst people who don't have very light spirits. They like grumpy. They're like, why are you smiling at me? No, that's just by the way. So smile at your neighbor, okay? Extend an act of kindness. Ask somebody how they are doing. You'd be surprised how much will come spilling out of their spirit. And then you realize that we are more alike than we are different from each other. That's all. Okay? Dawn says, I don't care what you look like as long as you can bake a great cake. Well, maybe with Halloween coming, I'll show up like a demon looking fairy. And we'll see if you'll find that human enough. Let's see where our cheesecake is. Okay. All right. The cheesecake is gonna be good. The cheesecake, you know, I get excited when whatever I bake and it's looking all good, right? I do, and I can't help it. The cheesecake looks 45 minutes in. Okay. I'm going to bring it out just to show you something before. Because it's been baking for 55 minutes. So can we have an appreciation for what it looks like here? Look. Is that a good thing? It's like it's... Okay. It's set. It's set, but of course I can't do anything. Do we need to leave it to set, people? I need some help here. I need all you cheesecake connoisseurs to help me out here. Because, you know, this is not my ministry, okay? This is not my ministry. Okay, there you go. So those of you who I know it's set though. I thought it was going to be a whole hour. I thought this was going to be a whole hour. It feels creamy. It seems done because it's all set. Look. You know, and what I am excited about is the fact that it just looks like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm expecting. What do you think? Because on Preppy, this is not my recipe. Preppy Kitchen says when it gets to this point, you want to turn the oven off and leave it to set. Okay, so leave it, okay. It's got a wobble in the middle. With that color, it may be overdone. You know what? I'm not mad about it. Lollipop. I'm not surprised if it is overdone. I am not surprised at all. Because this is my very first baked cheesecake, you know. But it looks... Okay. So perhaps let's not put it back in there. You know, I told you. We professionals do have issues too, you know. Because cheesecake is not my ministry. It's fine. I am happy. I am happy that we can see it here though. Because I thought we were going to go and come back. And clearly that's not the case. So it's done. Okay. I will have to leave it to set completely before we cut into it. So perhaps we won't be cutting it today. We should come back and cut it tomorrow. I'm going to leave it in the fridge to set overnight. And then we'll be back to cut it. And perhaps what I might do is take parts of this and put it in long form so you can catch up on it. But otherwise, I think I might have to decorate it with some fresh cream and lemon curd just to bring some time to it. But yeah, people, there we are. That's our cheesecake. Just leave it to set. Okay. You've always wanted to make one. Okay, honey. Let's leave it to set. And then when we come back to cut it tomorrow, we'll see what the result is. From the look of things, it seems overbaked. And I'll tell you why I think it's probably overbaked. Because I think the general recommendation is when it's jiggly in the middle, okay, it's like set, but it jiggles or wobble, whatever the word is, right? But when I press here, it feels hard. Here is tender. Here is very tender. Here is very hard. So you know what? We could have overbaked it, but I'm not mad about a very first attempt. I mean, if you were a baker starting a first bake, I mean, you wouldn't expect perfection. And I preach that all the time, that enjoy the process, learn from the mistakes, and do better. So if we do this and it works out, maybe next time we will improve on it. So I am happy to show you the results of even a badly baked cheesecake, especially for a first time. So yep, the oven, and even oh, somebody noticed my, yeah, I tell the people in my house, these hands have been baptized by fire since I was 10 years old in Ghana, okay? These hands are not a measure for you to start touching stuff here. You will burn your hands because my hands are desensitized. When I used to work in McDonald's, right? When we did the washing up in the kitchen, them 16 and 17-year-olds that have never seen a day's washing up, this is them. Please don't tell McDonald's, okay? But this is them. I have some secret for you, but we're not telling that today. They get the bowl, like the tray, right? Over there, we used to have, like, you know, your chicken selects and chicken nuggets or whatever. The tray comes out, and with all the oil, you are expected to soak that in is it a sanitizer or something, something that breaks the oils down. And essentially there's a sink, right, but a commercial type sink, so it's huge, and you fill it with boiling, as in scalding hot water, and then you dip all the trays in, right, with this chemical, and it breaks the oil down, and you're supposed to go with gloves, pick the tray up, and then wash it out. And these 17-year-olds that have never touched a hot thing in there, they're like, they don't even know where to start. And the gloves, please. Let's just get to the job, shall we? That's all. So please, Sana says, hello, pretty lady. Thank you. So, don't try this at home, okay? Don't try this. Don't try this. Oh, Lord. And even, it's a basket cheesecake. I don't know what it is, okay? I'm just going to leave it to set. And then, yeah, we will come back and cut it tomorrow. And then we'll see. But yeah, I'm pleased to be back. It's great to have you all. Good to see everybody is keeping well, even with all the challenges in our lives, okay? Oh, dear God, meet everybody at the point of their need. Let your grace be enough for us. And let your mercy follow us. That's all. Have a good one. Happy baking. We'll be back tomorrow, cutting into the cheesecake. That is if my people don't gobble it tonight. And let's see what we have planned for tomorrow. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Love ya. Bye. Bye.